I woke up to an unbearable stench. It smelled like rotten meat, unwashed fur, and something sour? I groaned and tried to rub my face. But instead of feeling hands, I felt something rough and oddly textured. Wait, why was my face wet? Confused, I opened my eyes and saw an enormous black nose directly in front of me. What the? I jerked back, only to realize something even worse. My arms weren't arms. They were paws. What the hell? I scrambled to my feet, or at least, I tried to. Instead of standing upright like a normal human being, my body tilted awkwardly forward, and I toppled onto my face. Thud. Okay, maybe I just needed a second. I took a deep breath and tried again. But the moment I attempted to stand on two legs, my spine screamed in protest, and I collapsed back onto all fours. Oh no. I sprinted, more like stumbled, toward a small puddle nearby and peered into the murky water. A hyena stared back at me. A spotted hyena, with big, round ears, a scruffy coat, and wide, terrified eyes. No, this is a dream. This is just a bad dream. I squeezed my eyes shut, willing myself to wake up. I opened them again. The hyena was still there. Oh, crap, I screamed, but instead of a human scream, what came out was a ridiculous, whooping laugh. Oh, come on. After 20 minutes of running in circles, hyperventilating, and occasionally biting my own leg to check if I was dreaming, I wasn't. I finally calmed down enough to assess my situation. First things first, I was no longer human. I was a hyena. Second, my stomach was growling so loudly I was afraid it might attract predators. Right, I needed food. I sniffed the air and, surprisingly, my new nose picked up something delicious. Meat. My instincts kicked in, and before I knew it, my legs were carrying me toward the scent. I arrived at what looked like a recent kill, an antelope. Half eaten but still fresh. Jackpot. I took one step forward. Wham! I got slapped. Not a playful slap. Not a warning slap. I mean, full on, face dislocating, see your ancestors slap. I reeled backward, yelping. What the hell? A huge hyena, a female, glared at me. Her eyes burned with authority. And before I could process what was happening, she growled and lunged at me, biting down on my shoulder. I screamed, which just sounded like more hyena laughter. I barely managed to scramble away before another female hyena lunged for me. It was then I realized my grave mistake. I was a male hyena. And male hyenas were the lowest of the low in the social hierarchy. Even the cub that was happily chewing on a piece of antelope had more social power than me. If I wanted to eat, I had to wait. So I did. I sat there, sulking, watching the females devour the carcass while I drooled on the ground like an idiot. By the time they left, all that was left were some scraps and bones. Bones. And then I discovered something bizarre. My new hyena jaws were so insanely strong that I could eat the bones. So that's what I did. And you know what? They tasted pretty damn good. After a few days of barely surviving, I realized something crucial. I was never going to be a dominant male. But I could be pathetically adorable. I started perfecting the art of looking sad. Whenever the females were eating, I would sit at a distance, head down, ears flattened, big sad eyes, looking like the saddest, most pitiful hyena in the entire savannah. And guess what? It worked. One day, a female actually tossed me a piece of meat out of sheer pity. That was the day I officially became a professional scavenger among scavengers. After barely figuring out how to survive, I made another mistake. I tried to find a mate. Look, I wasn't expecting much, but I at least wanted some companionship. So I walked up to a female, tried to look confident, gave her a, "What's up?" nod. And, wham, another slap. Okay, no need to be violent. I get it. I tried again a few days later. This time attempting to look mysterious and brooding, like the male leads in romance movies. I sat alone on a rock, gazing into the horizon, my fur rustling in the wind. Surely, some female would be intrigued by my deep, existential sadness. Yeah, no. Instead of being impressed, another female walked up and bit my tail for no reason. After 3 weeks of constant rejection, I finally accepted reality. Romance didn't exist for male hyenas. I was doomed to be single forever. One day, while I was scavenging for food, I saw something too good to be true. An entire carcass. Untouched. No lions. No hyenas. No vultures. Just free food. I hesitated for 3 seconds before deciding. YOLO. And sprinting toward it. I took one glorious bite. And then a lioness walked out from the tall grass. I froze. She stared at me. I stared at her. There was a long, agonizing silence. Then she roared. I dropped the meat and ran like my life depended on it, because it literally did. I ran faster than I had ever run in my life. And that was the day I learned the most important lesson of all. If something looks too good to be true, it is. After weeks of suffering, I finally accepted my reality.